I need some food. Because this is about to be a whole little situation. Hello, welcome to Yellow Dirt Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. So today we are in the bedroom because I am about to take time to plan out the spring summer garden of 2024. Exciting times. January is a good time to do that. So basically I have my planner. This is where I will make sure I write down the seeds I'm supposed to be starting, the things that's supposed to be getting planted out, all of that. That's all going to go in my planner. And I have my planner from last year because I'm going to go back to that, reference that, as I update the new 2024 planner. I like to use a planner because I look at my planner every day for life, for work. And so with that being said, I'm always going to see if I'm supposed to be starting seeds, if I'm supposed to be planting something out, what I'm supposed to be doing. So I love to use a planner when I plan my garden. So another thing I use is a notebook, and I don't have it back here with me just yet, but just a cute little notebook or just a basic notebook. I like cute little notebooks because I'm going to literally draw out my garden in the notebook and then decide where I want things to be. So for instance, I planted my tomatoes, my cherry tomatoes, in a bed last year and the year before. They did not do well. So with that being said, I don't want to plant them there again this year. I am not big on companion planting because I don't have a lot of space, and so I plant where I plant, and then we see how things grow. The other thing that I have, which I have told y'all about, I told y'all about it last year, is if you have a local feed and seed, if you have, maybe even your big box store may have it, I'm not sure. But I also have my list of things that I can plant, the times I can plant them, how far they should be planted apart, all of that stuff, how long to maturity most of them take. And so I really like to have this. Normally, people say start from your last frost date. Decide when you're going to start your seeds based off your last frost date. I am not doing that this year. I didn't do it last year because I did not want to be taking care of seedlings in my house for months. So I do my starts days from when I plan to plant. And so I plant the first week or the second week in May. That worked out really nicely for me last year. And so that is what I'm doing again this year. So May 1st is what I wanted last year. I think I was a few days behind. For the most part here, you're probably past your last frost in May. And I did not want to be covering plants and trying to save plants. I just felt like I'll just wait until I feel like I'm very much in the clear. So if I were going to use my last frost date, it would be sometime in April. However, I'm not personally going to use my last frost date. I'm going to use the date that I plan to plant. And so with that being said, we have our handy dandy calendar here. May 1st is on Wednesday. And so all I'm going to do is count back. So you have May 1st here, first day of May. I'm going to go back to my April calendar. So May 1st was on a Wednesday. So that would be my first week, second week, third week, fourth week, fifth week. And I'm just going to keep going back. And that's how I'll know when I am that amount of weeks away from my plant out date. And so basically, I'm literally just going to label. It was on a Wednesday. I'm going to label 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And just keep that going. So that's how I'm going to get my life together. And then we'll go back to March. And that first Wednesday in March would be 6 weeks. Well, the last Wednesday. 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and then we are going to head into February, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 12 weeks. I don't go any further than 12 weeks because I'm not starting anything in this house more than 12 weeks before it's time to plan it out. Just so you know. And so then the next thing I'm going to do is to look at my seeds. I'm going to look at my seeds. I'm going to decide which seeds I want to grow. Now this can take some time, especially when you're talking about tomatoes and peppers, because I want to grow a lot of peppers this year because I want to make sure I have a lot of that pepper powder. It is so delicious on pretty much everything. I would like to grow a good amount of slicer tomatoes this year because I want to make a lot more canned tomato sauce, which I did not do last year. I saved a lot of tomatoes. There are tomatoes still in my freezer that I need to do something with, and I probably will within the next few weeks, and maybe I'll do a cooking video where I make tomato sauce, and I'll either freeze it or I'll either can it. But this is where it's gonna take a while because I have lots of tomato seeds, I have lots of pepper seeds, and I always want them all. But we all know I can't grow them all. I don't have that much space. So I have to go through, decide which ones I want. Like, I'm always gonna want a bunch of Cherokee purple tomatoes. I love Cherokee purple tomatoes. I'm always gonna want a whole lot of shishito peppers because I absolutely love shishito peppers. And so shishito peppers are not one of the ones that I will dehydrate and make into a seasoning. So if I want to grow a lot to make sure that I have enough to make the seasoning, then maybe I don't get as many shishito peppers as normal. But I have goals this year of what I want and what I want to save and things like that. So maybe I'll share those with you when I tell you which seeds I'm growing, which varieties I'm growing, which will be coming up in a video very soon. But today I'm just planning everything out, where I'm gonna plant it, how much room I have, all of that. That's what I'm doing today. This is also a good time to make sure if you don't have a seed that you want, that you go ahead and get it ordered. So ordering seeds closer to the end of the season, it's nice because some of the seed companies do like large sales, like with really big discounts. I never can, what do you want to say? I never do it. Like, I know I should, I just never do. And so I did not get that done this year, which is fine. I just want to make sure I have the seeds that I plan to start. The other thing is, I don't particularly want to buy a bunch of seeds. I have a bunch of seeds. Look. Like, I want to use the seeds I have unless it is a variety that I really must have. I want to start using the seeds that I have as opposed to continuing to buy things. I also have saved quite a bit of seeds as well. And so I have seeds. If there's a really cool variety that I want to try, then yeah, I'll grow it. I'm not going to limit myself, but I'm also not going to buy a whole bunch of seeds when I have a whole bunch of seeds. Another thing that I'm really planning to do this year is to use my saved seeds. So they say that if you grow a seed over and over in the same place, that the seed becomes tolerant to your area. And so even if I have a fresh pack of those seeds, I'm going to use my seeds that I saved. I didn't save a lot, so that won't be a problem. But like, I saved Golden Marconis this year. I saved Plebano, like I said, and I saved Jimmy Nardello. So here's the other thing. I may do my saved seeds and a few of the newer seeds because seeds can cross-pollinate. And so what that means is you may not get the same exact vegetable that you grew if you didn't protect the bloom. And I did not protect my blooms. But still, I'm still going to try and use those because it may be something that tastes even better. Like, you could have had a sweet pepper that got cross-pollinated with a hot pepper, and then your pepper that you're expecting to be sweet could end up being hot. So, you know, I'm not very picky about it. I did order some new varieties that I was very interested in from Kids Seed Co. this year. And so I'm going to absolutely be growing those. Ancho Gran. That's a poblano pepper. Yeah. And I do want to grow a good amount of cayenne peppers. And when I say a good amount, maybe we were outside getting the chickens right before I started this video. It's in my hair. Somebody told me what time, put your hair up. I don't care about it getting in my hair. I can get it out. It's not gonna kill me. And it's not my hair. Oh, cayenne peppers. I want to grow those because chickens. They're good for the chickens, and the chickens cannot taste them. But I'm not gonna be growing just a whole bunch of them. Oh my goodness! And them habanado peppers last year. Oh, they were so delicious and very prolific. So we definitely will be doing that. And I'm going to label which ones were my saved seeds and which ones are newer seeds also, because I just want to know as they grow what's what, if that makes sense. Chances are I'm not buying any more pepper seeds. Not this year. Okay, I've already bought some, but I'm not buying any more. Let me put it to you that way. I'm not buying any more. What kind of peppers are y'all growing this year? What kind of peppers are y'all growing? Like, I'm very interested. I just feel like I want so many, and like they're laid out on this bed. The good thing is I grow them in bags because it's just easier for me to grow them in bags. I don't have that much space, and it allows that heavy feeder plant to have its own soil, where I don't have to, when I am fertilizing it, I know I'm fertilizing just that plant. So I really like to grow peppers and tomatoes in bags, but we're gonna figure out which ones we growing this year. Like where I got large yellow and orange or large red, the thing is, all gonna taste the same to me, and they'll turn colors. So I'll probably take that down to like one variety and just plant a bunch of those. Yeah, I'm trying 3 new peppers this year, and of course a bunch of my old favorites. And probably only 2 hot peppers, and that would be like a jalapeno and a cayenne, honestly. So we picked out the peppers, and I will see y'all in another video to tell you which ones those are gonna be. Excited about that. And so, but my pepper plants, I normally try to start them about 8 weeks before. Peppers can take a while to germinate. They also need warmth when you are trying to germinate those seeds. So they can take a while to germinate. So I do try to start them about 8 weeks before I'm going to plant them out. And so in my planner, I'm not going to write it on the calendar because I need that space for other stuff. But March 13th is my 8-week mark. So I always try to get a planner that has separate pages for the days. And so what I will do is right on the 13th, start peppers. I'm just going to write start pepper seeds. And so I'm going to be honest. Will I sit down on a Wednesday night after I came home from work and start these peppers? Maybe. Chances are more higher that I will not. More higher than I will not, right? So as long as I do it within that week, I'm fine with that. I don't push myself to the point that it has to be straight, like every day is that day. I do not do that. Because if you're not new here, you know I work a full-time job. And so for my tomatoes, I normally start those the same time I start the peppers. Not because they take a long time to germinate, just because I want them to be a good size when I plant them out, because I like to plant my tomatoes deep. That's just what I like to do. And so I start those at 8 weeks as well. And so we're going to put start tomatoes. So we all know I ain't starting tomatoes and peppers on a Wednesday night. So yeah, there's that. So we're going to pick through these. I did get a new variety from Kids Seed Co. They always have such cool varieties over there. And I am not planting a whole lot of cherry tomatoes this year. I am going to plant a lot of paste. So like the San Marzanos, the Amish paste. I am going to plant a lot of those this year because I want them for tomatoes, sauce, and salsa. The Great White delicious tomato, so yeah, definitely gotta have that. My cherry keep purple, yay. And this one I'm gonna try it again. I ain't telling y'all because I'm gonna do another video, but I'm gonna try that one again just because I just feel like it was supposed to be a prettier tomato. I just do. And I gotta remember which one of them tomatoes just like died out on me. It was the Sheboygan. The Sheboygan is, I think, a paste tomato, but it did horribly for me. So maybe I'll try like one, but it won't be a whole bunch of them. And I think the Paul Robeson did me terrible last year too. Although it was a very tasty tomato, but the plant died out real fast on me once it got hot. And I was like, well, that was a waste of my time. And so for tomatoes, I start them in the fruit containers where I put the label in between so I can start a lot in one space because I have a small seed starting area. So yeah, that's how I'll start those. And a friend of mine, mother, loves the Bread Atomic grape. So I'm going to start some extras. Wait a minute. There we go. Need to write that down. I don't have any Brad's Atomic grape tomato seeds. So make that note. Need to order those. I love them too. I got those from a seed swap in 2020 and they are all gone now. So we need to order those. And I had ordered like quite a few. So this is what garden planning looks like for me. It's literally sitting down, making sure I have what I think I have, as well as planning out when I need to start them. So it's a process. Of course, you can do it however you want to do it. I'm just sharing how I do it because I know some people are new to gardening. And I want to try these again. I want to try these again. I have never had success with them, but I have seen people do it, and it's just beautiful. There isn't anything in this package. I can assure you there isn't anything in this package. I don't even know why I still have it. I have it taped up, so maybe it is. I never had success with them, so. Oh yeah, there's some in there. So I'm gonna put my haven't had success or didn't do well in one group, and then I'll figure it out, decide which one. I really want to try this again. Y'all told me about this one last year, and I tried it and it did not do well. This was just a pretty tomato. I want that. Look, that was just a pretty tomato. So I'm gonna try and grow more paste. Then I have like slicers, but still grow like maybe 2 of each slicer that I want so that I can eat it fresh. You can make sauce and salsa with any of them. But I really want to focus this year on using paste tomatoes. I am not a big paste, like red tomato eater, but I do want the paste tomatoes for sauces and things of that nature. I always struggle with picking seeds for tomatoes because they all are just delicious. But I don't want a bunch of the tiny ones. The first time I started my garden and we got all of those tiny ones, my daughter was loving them. But just like with anything else, once the funness wears off and the newness wears off, those cherry tomatoes sat in the refrigerator for weeks last year, and I was like, well, this isn't good. Although you can absolutely use those as sauce too. You can dehydrate them. I'm just trying to use my space wisely for what I want to accomplish. As I go through these seeds, these tomato seeds, and I'm struggling to just pick the, what I want. Can I tell y'all how much I miss recording out in the garden? A lot. I miss it a lot. Y'all ain't even get a chance to answer. I miss recording out in the garden so much. We have been, I'm going to try those again this year. Well, not again, because I didn't try them last year, because I did not do well with them the first time. So I just didn't try them last year. But anyway, we have not gotten above freezing in the last 2 days. I think it's 32 degrees now. And I just want to be outside. I want to show y'all what's going on out there. And actually, it's probably a good thing that I can't at this point, because I need to water. But I water, well, any water that I have is frozen. Like that I saved is frozen. And then, of course, I can't use the water hose. But I want to water to see if things will kind of perk back up. Because when they're frozen, they definitely look not perked up. And I also found some Brad's Atomic grape, so I don't need to order them, but I probably will because it was only a few of those seeds. All right, I think I've made my decision on tomatoes. And the other thing that I'm going to do is whatever is coming up next to plant. Like once I finish this whole process, I will put them in a Ziploc bag. Then I will know which things are next and that I already have them out and ready. And we'll just do that as the weeks go on. Hey, how did this one not get over here? See, this is the problem. Like, how'd you not get over there? Oh, you too. And I like you. So, I definitely will be growing all types of varieties. However, I will be growing way more. Do we want to try? Do I even have any more? Do we want to try these Sheboygans again? We're going to put him over there. We'll put him over there. We're going to see what happens, okay? So we done picking out our tomatoes. And so we will move on to squash. Now, I do start my squash inside. I will also do them outside. But I will only start them about 4 weeks before I plan to plant them out. So we need to be over here in April. So that would be April the 10th. And that's going to be my squash, my melons. All of those are going to be 4 weeks before. And this is just how I do it. I don't want anyone to, you know, go and make your choices based off how I do it. Because the back of the seed packet tells you what you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of seed packets tell you to direct sow your melon seeds. But I definitely do them inside. It's recommended that you sow outside. See? But I have definitely sown melons and cantaloupe, squash, all of those inside. Now, my watermelon just don't grow. So we ain't going to talk about that. Don't talk about that. But I definitely grow melons just fine, starting them inside. So I will, again, but I won't start them inside any earlier than 4 weeks. You know, I haven't tried these. Not that I was going to try it anyway. I grow melons for my daughter. I tend to eat melons. Once I know what I'm growing, that's when I will draw out the actual garden too. We're gonna start melons. So that would be April the 10th. And start melons. Start squash. And my melons and squash always grow on a trellis. So that's the other thing why you want to plan it out, because you got to know how many trellises you have and things of that nature as well. Ooh, I got another one, a different seed from Kia Seed Co. 2 that I see people growing all the time, and I'm just like, oh, that looks cool. As long as my daughter get cantaloupe, she don't care. She like honeydew melons too, so. Let's see. Now, we definitely gonna do the one that I absolutely love the most. I don't think I'm going to try. I don't know. I don't know if I'm trying like actual squash. I ain't giving up. I ain't saying I'm giving up. What I am saying is, my goodness, the squash and zucchini don't do nothing but fight me. Let me put zucchini on this list. I love zucchini, so definitely may try zucchini. I don't know if I'm going to try just regular squash, so that didn't take long. Because them squash vine boys don't play no games, y'all. And you running around, keep trying to put stuff around it. They don't care about nothing you put around it. They don't care. Okay, so now we are moving on to beans. My camera got hot, so I had to take a break. So we're moving on to beans. And so I love to have a yellow and a purple. Even though I like green beans, like I like to have that color in my garden. So I don't have any more of these, but let me see what I do have. Yeah, I like to have a yellow or a purple. And then of course, love my runner beans. And y'all know my favorite one is purple potted. I was not a fan of the Kentucky Wonder. I was not a fan. They seem to grow, they got big real quick, so you had to make sure you picked them quickly. So I wasn't a fan of them. Not saying other people won't be, but I was not a fan, so I'm not growing them again. And then of course my peas, because I will be planting my peas out probably at the end of January straight into the garden. I did that last year and they did amazingly. I also need to take some of these old packs out of here. And I'm also this year going to make sure I do succession sowing so that I can have beans all the way through fall like I did this year. So, because that worked out really well. But I only have a couple varieties that I really enjoy having anyway. What bean varieties do y'all like to grow? Let me know, because I've always heard people talk about Kentucky Wonder, and maybe I'll give them another chance. Maybe I'll give them another chance because I didn't really enjoy them. And my beans, I plant my beans and my peas. I plant them straight into the garden, but I have also planted them from starts, but I probably wouldn't plant them any more than 2 weeks early if I'm going to do that, because I don't want them to be huge when I put them out into the garden. As I understand it, they don't like their roots disturbed, and so I don't ever have a problem direct sowing my bean seeds. And it may be because they're so big and they can kind of reach deeper down into the soil. So even when I forget to water them and keep the top of the soil moist, they're good to go. We're going to move on to the cucumbers. And so I have one that I tried to grow last year, and now I'm out of seed because they didn't come up. Wow, we're out of a lot of cucumber seeds. So we need to go ahead and put this. We just need to go look for cucumbers. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I got one pack that got actual seeds in it. Well, no, this got seeds in it too. So maybe I'll do that. But there's one that I really want to grow, and I did not do well with it last year. So I'm going to get online. Well, I want to put those on there too. Alright, so cucumbers was quick, y'all, because I don't have no cucumber seeds. That's a mess. That's a whole entire mess. By the way, I really love these little things. They are photo box holders, and I got mine from Michael's. My cucumbers are the same. I will only start them about 4 weeks before. I'm pretty sure that's the same time, yep, as the melon and the squash. But they can be direct sown too. So, eggplant. We know last year the flea beetles ate my eggplant up so terrible. But the thing about it is they were still growing. And if you're not new here, you know I only grow one type of eggplant anyway, because I'm not a fan of the big thick eggplant. So we got that one eggplant variety that I plan to grow. Let's talk flowers. I want all the flowers this year, y'all. Like, I want all the flowers, but I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try this again this year. It's a melon, but I have not successfully grown it. But I want to try that next year too. I know y'all like, why she just don't tell us what seeds she growing? I promise. That's gonna be my next video. And I don't want to put out content that's not helpful. Like, I know this isn't very structured, but I hope that like my talking out loud and talking to y'all maybe will help. But I don't want to put out content that's not helpful and not entertaining. And so I know everybody has probably noticed that like I haven't posted like every Wednesday, every Saturday like I'm supposed to, and I'm always late. I'm late because I don't want to, I'm late or just absent because I don't want to put out things that aren't going to be helpful to people, and it's just looking like I'm throwing a video out here. It might look like that today, but and that's because it's not structured. But it's my way that I start my seeds. So I hope it's helpful, but I don't want y'all to think that like I'm not posting because it's winter. I'm not posting because I don't want to just be throwing random content out that's not helpful to anybody. So that I meant to say that at the beginning of the, but I forgot. So I want all the marigolds this year. I'm gonna try these again too. You know, if I had paid attention to my flower seeds at the end, we would have been fine. I didn't pay attention to them, so that's on me. But we getting our flowers. We getting our flowers this year, y'all. We are getting our flowers. I want all the flowers, and I'm gonna mix them into the beds this year. Like really mix them into the beds. Like I want flowers everywhere. So I was watching Gardenary. I think her name is Gardenary. And she ooh. I gotta catch that Cozy Town, whatever you call it. That's not nice. It's Cozy Town, I think. She does dahlia seeds. And I know a lot of people think that you can't start dahlia from seed. A lot of people think that dahlias start from tubers only. Dahlias also start from seed. So I need to make sure I don't miss her sale this year. I need to go look that up. She has a lot of very pretty in the full. She does the full flowers. Like they are so pretty. So I gotta make sure I get over there. I meant to do my delphinium in cold, in winter sowing, but I forgot. And I do want some more foxgloves. They were so pretty. They were so pretty. Oh, I think I need some more nasturtiums. Yeah, we gotta order some more nasturtium, y'all, because you know I really love nasturtiums. Okay. So those are all the flowers. I want all the flowers, y'all. And I know y'all like, you ain't got enough room for all that. I do. I'm gonna make it work. I do. I think that's it. I believe that's it. I started my onions already. I started my leeks. My herbs, I put those in the winter sowing. So I do believe that's it. What I do need to do is the medicinal herbs. I did not start medicinal herbs in winter sowing because I didn't know. I've never really grown them. And I have marshmallow out there already. I'm pretty sure it comes back. The pollinators love that plant. They love that plant. And you can use the root of that. So I'm getting ready to pull out all of the medicinals. And we're going to get our medicinal plants going. So that's all the herbs. And then I got all my basil. Wait, these basil. Is there anything in here? Oh yes, there's basil seeds in there. I think that's it. And the aftermath is over here. I have to put everything back up. Oh, what I was saying was, my camera is not being nice today. What I was saying was, and then I went ahead and finished up everything, and we gonna draw this garden plan together, and then I'm gonna let y'all go because I don't know how long this video gonna be. Anyway, what I was saying was, Gardenary says like she doesn't pay attention to spacing in her garden beds because she can get more plants in it. So like, here's the thing, I would love to try that, and I may try it in another bed, like in one bed. Anyway, she does it because she said that she can get more plants in it. She doesn't leave a lot of open soil, and she gets a lot of plants in it, and she does very good. Now the thing is, I don't think I've watched her to the point that I know if she just like compost and like a natural fertilizer. I don't know. I watch her more on Instagram, so those are like shorts and things, or reels. So I may go back onto her YouTube channel and see like how she fertilizes, because I don't know if she's organic or not, and I do use, you know, organic, so fish emulsions, things like that. So I might go look at that, but I'm very interested in trying what she does. And y'all know I try anything, if we honest. Like, I tried, and if it don't work out, I'll be like, oh well. But I also don't want my whole entire summer garden season to not be successful because I tried something like that, or because my soil doesn't have enough nutrients in it. So we're gonna see about that, but I definitely thought about it. So I am not going to waste your time showing you this planner anymore. I pretty much showed you what I do, and that's going to be for everything. We'll have to probably come back and finish that up, or I will come back and finish that up. But I want to show you like the fact that I just draw my garden. I normally will go out, the gardens that I'm not 100% sure about the square foot in, I'll go outside and just look real quick because it's cold. And then that's how I will decide where things will go and how many plants I can have. The good thing is I can have as many tomato plants and pepper plants as I kind of want, at least as many varieties, because I'm growing them in bags. So I don't really worry about that, because like I can have at least one of each variety. I'm growing in 60 bags and I have more bags. Like I said in my last one, I just need to figure out where I'm gonna put all the bags at. So let's go ahead and start drawing. And I guess, oh, that's my list of what I need to get. So short list, and then I'm sure while I'm on there I will see something else that I want to try. But I'm just going to show you how I draw out my garden. It's nothing fancy. So this is a pretty small piece of paper, and we may have to draw it out on something bigger, but it's fine. So I would say, like, this is the entrance. I don't give a spot for the orchard because I know that nothing is going in that orchard. Well, if it is, I'll just be placing things in it. So I start like with the 2 garden beds that I have right at the entrance, and then there's the trellis, of course. Then over here is the asparagus bed, which we know we won't be growing anything in the asparagus bed, right? And then you have the 2 raised beds right here. Then there's another one here, and that has a trellis on it. And then of course we have the other bed over here. In the middle we have our Vevor garden bed, and then we have a bed right beside that. Then we have the little shorter bed that has the blueberries in front of it. Then right across from that there's a bed, strawberry bed back here. Then you have the area where I have some bags, and then the Vevor garden bed. That's all I do. That is literally all I do, and that's how I plan out what I'm gonna plant where. And I do it by square foot. Like for instance, these beds here are 7 by 4, so I know I have 28 square foot in this, 28 square foot in that. This is the Vevor garden bed, which I am sure will have 1 million borage plants in it this year, because I grew borage over there. Last year I let it go to seed. In fall I had borage growing, and the one that was in there actually I think it was a volunteer. Borage really will volunteer if you let it go to seed. I love having borage in my garden. Like, it is great for pollinators, and I like to use the flowers, and I'm just finding out I could use the leaves, so I'm all about some borage. I don't mind. But yeah, that's how I would do it. I know there's 28 square foot here. I know I'm not using this bed because it's asparagus. I do know that I have a trellis that connects over here. I also know that we're not putting tomatoes in here this year. I know that's strawberries, so I don't have planting area. Like, I know over here is shaded. And so that's how I'm going to plant my garden. If you want to see like part 2, when I redo this on a larger piece of paper and I get down into the nitty gritty, let me know down in the comments. But that's essentially how I plant my garden. I grab my planner, I grab my notebook, I grab my seeds, I grab my old planner if it's a new year, which normally when you're planting your spring garden, it's around the new year, so that I can reference back to it. And then I just go for what I know. And if you are new, of course you want to read the back of your packaging. I've been doing this since 2020, absolutely not an expert, but I do have a little bit of experience to know what works well for me in my backyard. And so I'm using that experience and the new things I'm learning and all of the materials and resources to keep growing my garden, to keep being successful in my garden. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in the garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.